let's choose my TBR for August. Well, my hopefuls list, because we are not putting pressure on ourselves to finish books, so I have changed from calling it my August TBR or my monthly TBR to my monthly hopefuls, because I want to keep it nice and relaxed and not put pressure on myself to read. However, instead of just going by mood, I am going to bring back something that I used to do on my TikTok that I now want to bring back and bring to YouTube and bring back on TikTok, which is a little prompt mug. I have a bunch of prompts in here. Like, it is full. There are a lot. And I have a bunch of physical books, but I will also be choosing books from my Kindle because I want a nice mix. So let's mix these up and then let's choose. ASMR. I think the first one was chosen for us. The first prompt is it focusing? Maybe it's not. What is it? Your most recent purchase. Well, I got a bunch for my birthday, but I don't think those count because it's what I purchased. So it's gonna have to be what I bought in Gothenburg. However, I have purchased 2 that are on their way, but I don't have them yet. They're not here. So I do think that they don't count. So it's either gonna be The Things We Water by Mariana Zapata or Promise Me Sunshine. Either this one or... oh wait, this was not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. This one. But I'm thinking, since I accidentally got The Things We Water even though mum had got it for me for my birthday because I forgot that I had that on my birthday list, I do think this should count as a birthday gift. So my most recent purchase would be Promise Me Sunshine. So this is our first book for August, which I feel is good for the end of summer because it is giving summer vibes. Look at that floppiness. All right. And I think we're gonna choose, should I put this back? But what if I choose it for something else? But I'm just gonna have to bring it out. I usually choose 6 on my hopefuls list in total because I want it to be enough that I feel like it's worth it, but I don't want it to be so much that I feel stressed getting through it, and I can easily read 6 even on a bad month. But then I also want to leave space for like new releases that I may not have received yet when I pick my TBR, or well, my hopefuls. I'm still getting used to it, or like just something that I'm mood reading. I want to leave space for mood reading, so I will be picking 6 in total. Let's give it another little shake. I hope they are mixing and they're not just staying in the same place but just shaking around. Okay, so our second one, I'm gonna root around to the bottom a bit, shake it up, will be, oh, one fell out, but I chose one. I think we're gonna put back the one that fell out and take the one that I chose. I feel like this is not focusing. A book you've had for over a year. I think there's only one. Maybe there's 2. No, there's only one. And that is going to have to be The Unbroken. I've had this for maybe 3 years now, and I haven't read it yet for some reason. But it is definitely up my speed. I think it's about damn time that I picked this up. Glorious Rivals will be releasing on the 4th or 5th of August. So how did I pronounce August? August. So that will definitely be one of the books that I'm gonna reach for because it will be released to me the day after. I can't speak. It will be delivered to me the day after it is released. So that is definitely on my hopefuls list, but I'm not gonna put it on my official hopefuls list because I don't like have it. It's not out yet. And sometimes Amazon fucks with my deliveries and then I can't get to it that month because it is so late being delivered. So that is definitely one I'm going to be reading. It's also the Immortal Consequences, which I know nothing about, but I just based on the cover and the like special edition that Amazon had because it was just so pretty that I need it. But I've seen some people on BookTok talk about it and it sounds really good, so that will be delivered to me at the same time as Glorious Rivals. But that is also an unofficial Hopefuls book, you know. I'm definitely going to be prioritizing. Oh, one fell out. I feel like the universe is choosing these for me. So one fell out, and that is this one. What does it say? A fantasy with romance. That was very broad. That left very much room for interpretation. So a fantasy with romance. There's so many to choose from. We have Air, I'm pretty sure. A Fate, Fortune, Fire. I'm not sure if the Morrigan is one. I just read Shield of Sparrows, otherwise that would be perfect for that one. But I loved Shield of Sparrows. It was so good. The Things We Water is definitely a fantasy romance. Heartless, I'm pretty sure is 2. The Throne of Broken Gods. What I remember from the Book of Azrael is that there's definitely a subplot of romance. But I feel like that's maybe on the outskirts of fantasy with romance and not pure fantasy with romance. And then we have, there's so many. The Enemy's Daughter. I don't know how much fantasy elements is in that one. Watch Me feels more like dystopian romance fantasy because Shatter Me is more like sci-fi rather than fantasy, if I remember correctly. Because it's set in our world still, if I like kind of a modern society. I might be completely off kilter here, but from what I remember of it, Filthy Rich Face definitely. So I think it's either gonna have to be Filthy Rich Fae, but this is set in our world, so is it like pure fantasy or is it like contemporary fantasy? But The Things We Water is also set in our world, so I do feel like that's cheating a little bit. And The Baby Dragon Cafe I think is set in a modern time as well. So it's either I want to see if the Morrigan, because this cover is absolutely gorgeous. They called me the Morrigan, I was magnificent, I was multitudes, but they twisted my story, stripped me away, but I would tell it now in my own voice. It sounds really good, but there's no mention of romance on the back. I'm always so scared that I'm gonna like break the books. I mean, When Gracie Met the Grump is also like contemporary superhero, but that's not much fantasy. I do definitely feel like this is a straight up fantasy with a subplot of romance, and that is what I think I meant with like fantasy with romance, because this is definitely that romance is a subplot, but it is a straight up fantasy and not like contemporary fantasy or romantasy, which romantasy isn't really a genre that I use because I just feel like that's just a way to separate fantasy authors from male authors by the sexism in the publishing industry. I definitely feel like that subgenre has been twisted from what it was originally amongst readers, so I don't use romantasy as a way to like categorize my books. But this is definitely a straight up fantasy. Oh, but then we have 2 quite heavy fantasies because The Unbroken is also like a thicker fantasy book. But I don't mind, I love fantasy. We have 3 more, we're only halfway. So like, we definitely have the space to weigh it up with some romance. We could have done The Avalon Tower on my Kindle, because I've really been wanting to read that. Or Arcana Academy, because I really want, my phone is bleeping for the 3rd time. Or Arcana Academy, because I really want an excuse to buy that one, but we are not choosing books that we do not physically have. But it is just reminding me that I like need to buy. That one doesn't fit. That I need to buy Arcana Academy. I don't know how it's pronounced. Let's go with Air. We're going with the Air. I love Sabata here. I love An Ember in the Ashes, and I've been wanting to read Air for a long time. So let's go with that one. Alright, a fourth book. That one was definitely from the bottom. This isn't working, but I'm doing it anyways. It's not focusing. A book you think will make you cry. I have no idea if I have any of those on here. Ooh, but that's also kind of heavy reads. But I do think that The Silence of the Girls would definitely make me cry. If I should read this one before I read The Women of Troy. Because I have both. Because I don't think that there's anything else in here that is going to make me cry. Then it's possibly on my Kindle. I have Drive, which I do think could make me cry. Drive by Kate Stewart, which is the same person who has written, my leg is falling asleep, who has written Flock and well, the Ravenhood series, and that definitely made me cry. So maybe we should choose Drive, because I definitely cried to the Ravenhood series. So it's between Drive, I'm gonna pick it here and go to the opening page to show you guys. So we're choosing between Drive by Kate Stewart and The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. I mean, this has been shortlisted for women's fiction, and I do think that this is going to be heavier than this one. I mean, I could have chosen Promise Me Sunshine for this because that is about grief, but we've already picked that one. And I don't think Drive wasn't the first one that like came to mind. And I don't get the sense that that is like actually really sad. So I'm thinking we're gonna have to go with The Silence of the Girls because that is the first one that came to mind. August is gonna be quite like a fantasy heavy, but we have two left that could be romances. Let's pick our second to last one. This is definitely making me reach for books already that I wouldn't have immediately gone for if I would have just gone off of mood. So I definitely love doing this again. Our fifth one, I can see a heart, so I feel like maybe romance wise this isn't, it's still not working, is it? It's not focusing. A book with a title you love. Oh, there's so many. I mean, ooh, don't fall over please. I love Battle of the Bookstores, that title. I do think that that sounds fun. I like Steel King. I like The Things We Water, but again, it's a fantasy. And Heartless, I love the title Heartless as well. But it also reminds me of Heartless from Chestnut Springs. But this is Marissa Meyer's Heartless, which is also a fantasy. I am really in a fantasy mood. I just generally think that fantasy titles are better than romance titles in general. But then we again have like Kindle books. And I have Arcana Academy on my Kindle, but I do really want that physically, and I do really want to read that physically because I like Elsie Kova. It's kind of expensive, so I'm just not buying it right now. I do like The Princess and the Fangirl, which I got today by my friend Elsa. She gifted this to me, and it's by Ashley Poston, who I love. But this is also, I mean, it is contemporary romance, but it does have, as Ashley Poston's books do, a fantasy element. Why is this so difficult? But the thing is, the title that I do, I mean, I love the title A Fate Forged in Fire, but that is also straight up fantasy book that is kind of thick, and I love the title The Morrigan as well. But I really like the title The Things We Water, and I have been looking forward to this for a long time. But again, it's another really thick one. But again, it's also just hopefuls, so if I don't get to them, it's not the worst thing in the world. I need to lose control a little bit, so I'm gonna choose The Things We Water by Mariana Zapata, because she's the queen of romance slow burns, and this is her first fantasy, I believe, even though it's set in a modern world, but it has fantasy elements, and my fingers have been itching to reach for that one. We've only chosen physical books though, but I have so many physical books that I want to read. But usually I put physical books on my TBR, and then I read, like mood read, Kindle books. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Glorious Rivals is gonna be physical, but maybe I'll save Immortal Consequences for like September. Alright, last pick. I said I was gonna weigh up with some romance books for all the heavy fantasy books that I chose, but then that didn't work. Alright, last one. Give me something romance. A 5-star hopeful? Why is this difficult? I mean, The Princess and the Fangirl would kind of be a 5-star hopeful, but I feel like that's cheating because I have read Ashley Poston before and I love her books. So I feel like that's cheating a little bit. Maybe we should... Nope. Careful. I'm way too aggressive with this cards. I mean Steel King because I love Daphne Perry, but I'm not picking... Maybe I should just pick Steel King because I've mentioned it multiple times now. I mean, Arcana Academy is gonna be a 5-star hopeful for me. Glorious Rivals is also gonna be a 5-star hopeful for me. So it sucks that they're not here yet, that I can't choose them. I'm going to my trusty Kindle. Let's see. Maybe Nanny for the Neighbours by Lily Gold. I haven't given any of her other books 5. I think the highest I've rated her is 4.5. I mean, Arcane Academy. Avalon Tower is kind of a 5-star hopeful, but not like fully. Maybe we should just pick a different prompt because I don't have any 5-star hopefuls. That's like... I mean, I hope every book I read is going to be a 5-star, obviously, like everyone does, but I don't have... It would have been like Shield of Sparrows, but I've read that, and that was 5 stars. It's just like maybe Steel King. I don't really want to pick Steel King yet. Should I cheat? And should we say that I have one where I can swap out the prompt if I don't feel like it fits? What if I pull the same one? Let's not. Oh, I feel like I have more than one. No, it was just a thick one. Oh. Alright. This was a long one. A book you bought because of the cover. Well, that's just all of them. That's all of them. I suck at this. I just realized that. And all of my books have been sliding around whilst I've been doing it. Why haven't I just moved myself instead of the cart? Like, Arcane Academy I would have. I need to stop thinking about it. Maybe I should just buy it because I'm obviously obsessed with it. And desperate for it. But that is pretty much everyone. They're all so thick. You know what? Fuck it. I've been debating it forever. I feel like it's just meant to be. Steel King by Daphne Perry. Did I buy this because of the cover? No. I bought it because it's Daphne Perry. But I am overruling the prompt because it's not working. Because I just got hung up on Arcane Academy. I mean, Glorious Rivals would be a 5-star. Maybe I should just put Glorious Rivals on there because it's on its way. Like, it's ordered. And then I've also, the Inadequate Heir is on its way. And I really love The British Kingdom and The Traitor Queen. And then I ordered Tate James' Dear Reader. That is a 5-star hopeful. But it's not here yet. But since it's being delivered on Wednesday, like it's 2 days from now, maybe instead I should actually just pick Dear Reader by Tate James, because I love Tate James. Alright, we're doing the 5-star. Now I need to find that one. Why did I put it back? Should we just pull another one and choose Dear Reader for that one? Come on. Can't be. I have so many notes here. I have so many fun prompts in here. Fuck myself. Why am I so stupid? Why am I so indecisive? Like, I've chosen 5 with like minimal issues. Okay, last time. We are, just because I can't decide. This is fate chose for me. One fell out. It literally flew out. What does it say? A book with witches? But I don't have a book with witches. Ugh, why am I like this? Last time, I swear. I'm so sorry. Let's give it a really good shake. Come on. You guys choose. Come on. Wait. One fell. I feel like that's a sign. Oh, wait. This one isn't. Why isn't this one bent? Hello? Where are you going? This one fell out. This is the one. Book over 500 pages. They're all like thick ones, the ones that I've already chosen. No. I'm sorry. I put that in there. I know that I put each of these prompts in there, but like, oh god. But I grabbed one very decisively. Has one already flown out? Yeah, one had flown out, but that's not the one. I had to make sure that it wasn't one that we'd already picked. This is the one. This is the one. I'm not doing this anymore. A book with one or more elements. So a fantasy. Again. Does Arcana Academy have? But the hardcover is so expensive. Oh, the paperback is really cheap. Like, not really cheap, but that is doable. It has tarot cards and magic. Let's see, because I have it on my Kindle, Avalon Tower. Does that one have the elements? Because it has magic, but it doesn't necessarily have the elements. I really do want Silver Cloak. Does that have elemental magic? And that can't be delivered until the end of August, so that's like null and void. Should we just go with Arcana Academy and I just get to break my book buying ban and buy that because I can't choose because I'm so hung up on this book? I mean, I did want to choose The Reader. Now I'm choosing another fantasy when I said that I wasn't going to choose another fantasy, because I'm then 5 out of 6 will be fantasy, some form of fantasy. But I mean, it might. I'm doing this again. I'm not even gonna show you this time. A book set in the UK. Well, I don't know if I have any books set in the UK. Why did I come up with these? Okay, one flew out. I have been chosen by this one. A book with over 400 pages. Arcane Academy. Please be over 400 pages. Be over 553. 553. And I could have just gone with I know I said that I wasn't going to choose books that I don't have at home. But I'm making an exception. I really want this one, like desperately. After this I'm on a book buying ban. I really am. Because I do have enough books. Because we have The Inadequate Heir and Dear Reader arriving on Wednesday. And I really am going to want to read both of those in August. So I'm in deep shit now. But these are hopefuls. I'll read what I'm able to read. It didn't exactly go the way that it was supposed to. Because I'm indecisive as fuck. And I'm a little bit ridiculous. But also, this was the first time that I did this after, you know, like a year of not doing a prompt jar because it's been that long. So I'm giving myself some grace and I'm gonna get better at choosing and stricter at choosing my books. Okay, I made one exception. 1 out of 6 isn't that bad. So Arcane Academy by Elsie Kova is ordered. I ordered it on camera and it's on its way. It's gonna come the 31st, so on Thursday. That's just a couple of days. So I can even start August with that one. So it's I feel like that's okay. So as always, have a nice day, a nice week, a nice month. Be kind to each other, always. Who cares if you stick to your TBO hopefuls list or not? It's just a fun thing. Don't feel pressured. And I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.